Hello and welcome to Aura Talks. My name is Leandra. I'm a human design specialist and I work in the holistic health field. And in this video, we're going to go into another environment according to human design, which are valleys. If you want to know more about environment in general, you can check out a previous video to that and also all the other videos that I already recorded on all the different environments. So valleys is one of the landscape environments. So we have basically like a pyramid. We're starting with caves, then comes markets, kitchens, mountains, and then comes valleys. So it is part of the landscape, which means the more surrounding environment is more important than the actual hardscape, meaning your house or what happens inside your house or inside your office, etc. So it's more about the landscape around it, which also means that you are more sensitive to changes or whatever is around you. And you want to make sure and see that your environment, your surrounding is going to be lined up with the energy that you need in terms of creating your best energy flow. Valleys is all about community. It is all about connection and it's all about acoustics and sounds. So that is very interesting because the sound that you will hear in your home or from your garden or from the street in front of your house are gonna be very, very important and make you feel a certain way. That can go in either or direction. Maybe you like having it really, really quiet, and I'm smiling because my mom is valleys and acoustics has always been a huge thing for her. We never had any music on in the house and she lives very, very remotely where there's literally no cars, no sounds whatsoever because she's extremely sensitive in terms of her ears. Similar to my siblings who are also valleys. I grew up in a valleys family as it seems. So that is quite familiar to me. And if you're a valleys, you probably already got an idea what is going to be important for you in terms of the acoustics that you need in order to feel good at your home. As I said, that can be you need a certain sound or you don't like a certain sound. Check in with yourself and see what is it that you need in terms of the acoustics that make you feel good, that make you aligned, that charges up your energy. The next thing is, as it's so connected with sound, that people with valleys often are very acoustic people in the sense that they're maybe musicians or they do music or they sing or they love listening to music all day or to podcast or having a YouTube video like this one on, for example. So having really good headphones, for example, or also noise cancelling earbuds or earplugs when you're sleeping is potentially going to be a big theme in your life. So it's all about the quality of the sounds and what kind of sounds you're getting into your ears. The next thing that I mentioned is community. So you need a close and good community around you in order to feel good and feel aligned. That means that maybe all of your friends live in the close by neighborhoods or you have your little coffee shops, yoga studios, wherever you like to go to in your immediate surroundings. And if you have that, it's probably going to make you feel really, really good. It's going to make you feel safe. You like to connect with people. You like to always go maybe to the same places. So having an environment that seems very communal driven, it doesn't seem anonymous like maybe New York City or something. But my brother, who's also valleys, for example, lives in a small town on Bali where everyone knows each other, where everyone is very close by, where people can just spontaneously hang out. So that would be a very typical valleys scenario. Also, in my experience, people with valleys tend to rather like the landscape, meaning living a little bit outside of the city or just on the border, basically in the suburbs, not immediately in the center where there's a lot going on. And because it's also quite anonymous and having a little bit more of a community town or a community village or outskirts where it's a little bit more familiar and where you have and can build your connections and can come in contact with the people closest to you. So having a network actually is gonna be one aspect that makes you thrive. The next aspect that is really important for valleys is being in connection with nature, being in connection with the earth, specifically with ground. Living on the ground floor definitely living on the ground floor is therefore definitely gonna make you feel really, really safe and really good. Also, ideally, you have a door that leads right into the garden or right into nature or right into a patio or whatever it is. So you can immediately go out and connect with nature around you. Also, having grounding practices, having tools and modalities that bring you down to earth, where you can feel like you're grounded, you're like embraced by the element of the earth, you're embraced by nature, is going to be really, really helpful for you. In terms of your living situation, in my experience at least, it is really not so much about what you create indoors. It is really more about where you live and the people that surround you, which obviously doesn't mean you don't want a nice space to live or you don't want to make it nice for yourself and having like nice, sunny, open environments. But it's less so the case than what is actually happening around you. In terms of jobs, as I said in my previous videos, we can see maybe some tendencies here, but it always comes back to your whole chart, obviously, on so many factors, and it comes on the combination of all of these things. So getting a personal reading is the one thing that is bringing and integrating everything together and help you understand everything in context. And obviously is also energetically activating you in order to get back into your energy flow. So if you feel called to do a reading, I'm more than happy to do so. You can find the link for that down in the show notes. So coming back to jobs that valleys could potentially feel drawn to, might be something, surprise, surprise, with sound. So audio engineer, sound master, is that a name? I don't know. Sound mastery, or a musician, any sort of this thing, podcast host. But also something that is obviously connected with community. So community manager, having a team around you, building and creating something in a institution. In my mom, for example, she works in a Buddhist community, in a Buddhist center, basically. So creating community where people have the same goals, where people are similar, where you have your same routines in that community. That could be something that you naturally feel very, very drawn to. And the places you probably like to hang out at is coffee shops, watching people, watching community, always going to the same coffee shop probably and hanging out there, but also co-working spaces, community places. Maybe if you have children, could be a playground where you hang out with the same parents, where you meet the people there. Maybe little parks that are close in your neighborhood, any sort of this nature where you can watch people, where you're connected with nature, where you're connected with the ground, where you always find the same people returning to and connecting with. That's gonna be very beneficial for you and your energy. So yeah, let me know how that resonated. Are you a valleys person and can you see yourself in that? I'm curious to know. Also, if you have any other question about any theme, contact me, and you can also follow me on my Instagram, write me there. There's all the links provided below. So yeah, with that being said, sending you so much love and see you in the next episode.